tonight is the winner of the Funniest Person in Austin contest. You've seen him at the Moon Tower Comedy Festival. How about a big round of applause for Andrew Murphy, everybody? Look at here.
Okay, that's our activity, so I should hope not. We were playing Scrabble. That's like our little thing we do, right? It was a close game. One particular game, very close, neck and neck, right? And then I got the advantage because I managed to put down a word. I managed to put down the word hentai. Does anyone know what hentai is? Show of tentacles, who knows what? That's a joke for the hentai heads out there. If you don't know what hentai is, I'll just be very brief. It's a very weird type of porn. Yeah, yeah. Yes. Describe it more for me, please. Yeah, it's just a very weird type of very popular porn. It's very real. I put it down on the board, hentai, and then my mom looked at me and she was like, I don't think that's a real word. I've never heard that word. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and challenge that word. And I was like, all right, challenge accepted, Mom. Why don't you go ahead and Google it?
The open mic scene was probably about maybe like 15 people big, max. Like, it was pretty small. The only open mics we had there was one at Kiva, and there was one at Buzzmill for a while. I think it might have been a showcase, and there was one at Wake the Dead. It's pretty small. And then with Comedy Association starting on the college campus, and with just more comedians showing up in the town, now it's like pretty big. It's pretty hardy. We have people from Corpus Christi, we have people from San Antonio, people from Austin. We have like a lot more comics than we ever had before, and we have way more showcases and stuff.
I appreciate it though. No, I'm from upstate. I'm not from like the city part of New York. I'm not from New York City. I'm just from like the top part. We just have like the Buffalo Bills and poverty. That's kind of our two big things. Our two biggest exports. We don't even have an accent. I don't have a New York accent, right? But as soon as I moved to Texas, all of my roommates, as soon as they found out I was from New York, they would do like the same dumb New Yorker impression. Every time I walked into a room, right, they'd just be like, oh, Murphy's here, hey, oh shit, hey, it's fucking Murphy, hey.
Yeah.
But also, that extra $20 isn't
Funniest Person in Austin is the entire competition of FBIA is what kind of like weeds out everybody else, because hundreds of people try out for FBIA. It's a couple things. They have to be doing it for a while. They should be like I said, kind of experienced. They can't be too stiff. They have to like be okay with like crowd work and okay with like the show going in ways they didn't expect and stuff. Yeah, just kind of just general experience, and like they have to be funny.
I love trash food. Went to Subway recently. I'm gonna name every fast food restaurant in the world, and then I'm gonna go. No, and I went to no, I'm not gonna do Whataburger. I went to Subway though. The Subway is also terrible, right? Here's a fun fact about Subway. Did you know? Fun fact about Subway. Every Subway application only has 2 questions on it. Number 1, do you have sunken, defeated eyes? Number 2, when can you start?
There are multiple jokes that I regret doing. Some of them I still do. I still do the same jokes. But yeah, I mean that's that's what stand-up is. There's no way to really test anything until you put it in front of people, and they either like it or they don't. And sometimes you think it's a good idea, and then you do it, and you're like, nope.
And if you don't, bad things happen. But
Sorry, should I not go in front of you?
Putting pen to paper and seeing what comes out. For me, it's a lot more. I get a lot more material just from camaraderie with people. If I'm hanging out with buddies, or if I'm hanging out with a friend of mine and we're joking around, and I say something that in the spur of the moment kind of catches a laugh, I might think, oh, that might actually work on stage. So
I'm just from a town, you know? Anyone else from a town? Just a fucking town. Just a bunch of abandoned buildings with a Chili's in the mix, you know? Just a town, you know? We weren't like that interesting. Here's an interesting fact about my town. We called ourselves the carousel capital of the world. Yeah, right? You hear carousel capital of the world, you go like, oh, how many carousels do you guys have? Like 1,000? You know, we had like maybe 7 carousels. It was clearly just like an attempt by the mayor to like boost tourism numbers, you know? He probably just held a town meeting. He was like, all right, folks, help me out. We need to get our population up. So, help me out here. What do we have the most of? No, besides stray cats. No, besides rickety bridges. No, besides brown snow. You know what? New question. How long would it take us to build 7 carousels? We'll put it on the sign. That'll be our thing.
If someone wants to start doing stand-up, I would give them this advice. I'd give them a couple pieces of advice. First advice is that just take it seriously. The more you treat it like a hobby, or the more you kind of are in denial about the fact that you enjoy doing it, the worse you're gonna get. You have to just be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm here, I'm for it. It might look silly, it might look ridiculous, people might not think it's worth it, but you have to kind of shut that out and just go for it. Get up every night, constantly write, constantly improve, constantly grow. And then the other piece of advice I'd give, as weird as it sounds, don't be too vulgar when you're first writing jokes, because if you're a new comic, most likely the first work you're going to get is from hosting, from emceeing shows, and they usually want clean material. So